Hola, namaste. Welcome to Pearl Tarot. Today I'm back again with a pickup card on how do people view or see you at this point of time. So basically, this is a timeless pickup card. Whenever you click on this, it is right time for you to receive the message. So there are three piles, pile 1, 2, and 3 from your left to right. Choose the pile that you're most drawn to, and I will catch you in the next click. Hey there, my dear pile one. So, if you're drawn to this particular pile, this right place for you to receive the message on how do people view or see you at this point of time? Yes, we can dive deep into the reading. So, we have that of the devil, the Ten of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So, first of all, what I'm getting the strongly is that people generally view you quite attractive. Like they find you alluring, charming, and innocent, but at the same time, adventurous. That is the sort of vibe I'm getting. Like with the presence of the devil, you look so attractive to the eyes of people. That is the first thing. Maybe it overshadows your all the other qualities a little bit. Maybe people just are not willing to look deeper to you because of your looks. It can happen sometimes when you're so beautiful or so handsome, such a way that people are not willing to see beyond that beauty. They are just mesmerized by it, and they will do anything and everything for you without even knowing other skills or without even understanding you in a much deeper level, because they just need that. Like they are happy with your looks. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting. I'm not saying that you are that person who uses it for a malicious intent and all, but it's like you're beautiful, you're alluring, you're charming. Your words and your aura is so beautiful that people don't require anything more than that. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting. Especially you're drawn to the Ace of Cups, which often speaks about romance, love at first sight, maybe giving offers, giving resources, all the things. Like you may find yourself being bombarded with a lot of people's secret, or you would find yourself getting a lot of appreciation, or you may find that people are just drawn to you because simply because of you are. They may not know from where you are. With the presence of the Eight of Swords, I'm getting this message that they may not completely know your background, they may not completely know your skill set or your talent, your educational, nothing beyond that, but still they are like charmed. It's like they just hear what you say, or like they will blindly follow you. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting, especially in conjunction with the Page of Wands. And the pages in that of the tarot is kind of young naive energy, and especially in this deck you can see that despite being a page, this person is having a lot of attention. So that is what I'm getting. Like despite knowing a lot about you, people are just attracted to you. I'm not saying, let me be very clear at this point of time, I'm not saying that you're talentless or you don't have any skill set, you don't have anything to offer. But this is the perception of the people, that they are charmed by your looks, they are charmed by the way you speak, and they don't need anything further than that. That's the sort of vibe. Because with the presence of the Queen of Pentacles, I'm getting this person who is very resourceful, like a person who is very hardworking. With the presence of Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, I mean, it's a deadly combination of hard work. Okay, so it's like you are hardworking, you are focused on your resources, you are there to utilize all of your resources, not just your looks. So if anything, that is like your all the other skill sets are being sidelined. It's just the default of the system. Okay, it's nothing to do with you, it's just how the system works. That is what I'm getting. And again, with the presence of this Ten of Pentacles, I mean, maybe you have, like, you are from a wealthy background, or you just exude that vibe of being wealthy. Like you have abundance of resources. Maybe you are professionally very much qualified, that you have everything that you need to sustain yourself. Because again, with the presence of Queen of Pentacles, it is the epitome of a person who is really successful in everything. And whenever I use the term epitome, it reminds me of my book. So if you want to check down a self-help book, the link of the same is provided in the description box. So yes, like that name is epitome of success. So just like, it links, it it just strikes a part of my brain, that epitome, then suddenly to that. Yeah, coming back to that of your reading, with the presence of the Seven of Pentacles and that of the Page of Wands, I feel like there are people who really get inspired by that of your hard work. I don't know why this hard work is coming towards me, because I am getting the strong message that yes, you have a lot to flaunt yourself with. Maybe it's your wealth, or maybe it's your certificates, maybe it's your looks. But it seems like with the presence of Ten of Pentacles, you can see that these pentacles are showcased. Like, yeah, I have this. It seems like you have many things to showcase, but at the same time you are kind of hyper focused in something. That is what people generally view you. They see that you are kind of successful in many things, but recently you are focused on to something that you only knows about. Like you are not very secretive about it. Maybe with the presence of eight of wands, it seems eight of swords, I'm getting this message that you may be quite secretive about your things that you're working hard on. You're not just flaunting that thing. So there is a element of mystery related to the things that you're currently working upon. And again, with the presence of the Queen of Pentacles, I'm getting the strong message that people generally view you as a person who is doing good in finance, or you are doing good in your career, or you have something to actually flaunt. That's the word. Okay, it's like you have the ability to flaunt, but you chooses not to flaunt with the presence of the eight of swords. That is kind of, it's like a reverse psychology you're playing. Like I have a lot of things, but I'm not going to show it to the people, but people knows about it. So that kinds of add the mysterious element with the presence of the devil, and that makes me so attractive. And I don't think that you're playing any mind games, but it seems like it's working on, it's working. Okay, and it is working for your own benefit, because with the presence of the ace of cups, there are people who are willing to offer you things. As I was saying, like if it's a job, or if it's a career, or if it's like anything and everything, like people are willing to offer to you something and make you great, like make you happy. That's what I'm getting here. Like because there are a lot of people who are cheering for you with the presence of page of wands, and they find you to be like, you know, they can trust you upon with that of the resources, because they find that you are resourceful with the presence of Queen of Pentacles. Like you sit upon that of the things and multiply it. That is what I'm getting. And again, with the presence of the Ten of Pentacles, it can hint about that of the generational wealth, or it can hint about your material or career stability. So it is how that is, like people are generally viewing you. Let's dive into the rest of cards to get further info on this. So we have that of the Three of Swords and Five of Cups and Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And just now I looked in the back of the deck and I got the devil. I mean, come on, you got the devil in the first layout as well. So with the presence of the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups, I'm getting this message that you had recently gone through some stuff that hurt you, like literally. It can be a heartbreak, or it can be something that forced you to come out of your comfort zone, or forced you to leave a situation maybe. So something like that is present, and people generally view that despite that of what all things that like they ask you about it, you are not at all willing to share about it. So again, with the element of this devil energy in the background, I'm getting this strong feeling that maybe you are not willing to speak about it, or it's not because you are not healing out of the situation, but it is more like you don't want other people's perspective on that particular topic. Okay, so it may be the reason why which you are kind of keeping it to yourself. And I am getting a sense of a guilt. At the same time, you are shameful for the things that have happened to you, and people are kind of wanting to know about it. Maybe your near ones, maybe your friends, maybe your family kind of wants to know about that situation, so that they can help you, they can be with you. But I don't feel like you are kind of, they see you as a person who is like so headstrong that you don't want to share about it. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting. And again, with the presence of this Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, it seems like there are a lot of romantic suitors in like there are a lot of people who are really attracted towards you. Okay, they admire your beauty, they admire your charm, they actually admire the way that you do that of the things. That is also present. Again, with the presence of this Knight of Cups, I'm getting the very young energy. So people may misunderstand you for your, like they may think that you are of a certain age, but you are lower than that. Like I mean, I'm not, don't get me wrong, it seems like I'm getting this reverse energy, you know, like maybe you are in your late teens, but people generally view you as so matured and beautiful, like you know, the teenage self and all. Yes, we are beautiful, like beautiful in a sense when we are in the teenage, but we get glowed up in adulthood. I don't know why I feel like, but personally it happened to me. So I always feel like adulthood photos are much beautiful of me, like compared to my teenage self. So that is there. So I'm getting this message that you have a glow up version. Glow up is happening. So let's put it that way. Like a glow up version have happened to you. And again, with the presence of this Five of Cups, I'm getting this message that there are people who disagrees with you in certain aspects of life. Like maybe the way you do things may not be acceptable unquote to that people. So that is also there a lot of disagreements in that regard, like the way you live the life. Maybe you wanted to travel a lot and there are people who have a piece of cake, like they wanted to say something about it, like, okay, you're going to travel, that's not the world I am seeing you at this point of time. Like maybe, uh it's like points that is not necessary, but they somehow find it like they have this obligation to say to you, even though that is not at all welcome. So there is a lot of inputs from that of the people that you are kind of not accepting. Like, let's be like, it may not be something that is related to your past, maybe the way that you live, the dress that you wear, maybe. So something like that, like there are some elements that people are not accepting, like you should do that, like you are not asking them advice, but involuntarily they find it's their obligation to comment upon your life. So that is what I'm getting here. Again, with the presence of this three of swords, I'm getting this message that people view you as a person who are kind of in a healing journey, and the journey that you taken may not be understood by them because they do not know the extent of your depth of this hurt that you have went through. So that is so that may be the reason why which people are like curious and asking about you, what have happened, so they can be compassionate, or they are just putting involuntary advices. So that is like, it's kind of mixed up. So I hope you get the message out there. Let's dive into the rest of cards now. So we have that of the snow leopard, self-reliance, chaos and conflict, then the bee, community, deep knowing, all that glitters, and milk and honey. So how do people generally view you and see you? I mean, I am getting the strong message that you are kind of secretive and you never used to be this much secretive. With the presence of the milk and honey, I feel like you generally have a very prosperous life. That is how people generally view you. Like you are kind of very open to people, you mingle, you being there in the community and all those jars, because bees are kind of hyper dependent, right? Like they requires a queen, they requires worker bees and all those jars happening there. So it seems like you were kind of dependent to all that of the people in your life, but with the presence of this all that glitters and deep knowing, people generally view you as now like a person who is hyper self-reliant. Like you don't want a lot of people, or you don't quote unquote need a lot of people as you used to be. That is present, and that kind of create a friction with the presence of chaos and conflict. That can be the reason why I got a five cups energy earlier. Like it's not smooth as it used to be. As it used to be, you are not open as you used to be, you are not sharing your secrets. So it seems like uh, maybe you have gone through a spiritual awakening, or you have seen things that you are not trying to quote unquote see. We when we are in a toxic relationship and we know that it is kind of toxic, but we close our eyes because we wanted it somehow to work out, because in the head it seems too good to be true, right? All that glitters, that is the energy I'm picking up. So it seems like you have opened your eyes and seen some truth, and that makes you kind of not go back to that of the old situations, not go back to that of old patterns. So it can disrupt the flow of people, because somehow the old you had gone and the new you had already arrived. So the in between phase, or the phase that the people required to adjust with the new you, was not given by you. Just like that, you have popped out and becomes this new version. And yeah, I mean, people take time to change, but it seems like you like smooth like butter. You just slide into this new phase, because deep knowing, I'm getting that you were internally changing for quite some period of time. Even though the external change doesn't take place, internally you were kind of changing, and suddenly this new version appeared on the external environment, and that kind of disrupt the flow to the people. I hope I'm able to convey the message that I'm saying here. It's kind of deep, and I feel really connected to this message somehow. It seems like these cards are speaking to you in person. It's like it's very personalized. That is what I'm getting through this reading. Coming back to this self-reliance and big picture thinking is something that is coming towards me also. Like you are kind of opening deeper into deeper aspects of your life. Like you are able to see why certain things have happened in your life, and that is how people generally view you. Like all the things that doesn't work out, with the presence of the chaos and the conflicts and the self-reliance, it seems like people now understand that you have a deeper knowing, a deeper layer than that they thought you never had. Like they never thought that you literally have this much deeper level, or they never thought that you are a person who thinks a lot deeply into circumstance and situations. So they thought that you are kind of surface level with the presence of all that glitters. But this deep understanding about you kind of opened up a new realm in you that they never expected. And with the presence of milk and honey, let's be very clear, there are people who really admire you for that. There are people who want to reward you, especially with the main significator card that you are drawn to, that is the Ace of Cups. So there are people literally who are drawn to that because of the self-reliance, because of this big thing, a big thinking picture, and all those jars happening. But at the same time, when we change, there are some people who have to leave our life because they do not resonate with the new person whom you become. So that is also present, and this is a wonderful mixed reading, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope that this reading truly resonate with you. If it does, consider subscribing to my channel. Hopefully I will catch you in my next reading. Till then, take care. Bye. Hey there, my dear pile 2. So if you're drawn to this particular pile, this right place for you to receive the message on how do people view or see you at this point of time. Yes, we can dive deep into the reading. So we have that of the Two of Swords, the High Priestess, King of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, King of Swords, and back of deck energy being the World card. So yeah. So what I'm getting here strongly is people generally view you as a very masculine oriented person. I mean, a lot of masculine energy is present in this reading, especially with the King of Swords and King of Pentacles and all those happening here. I'm getting the strong masculine energy, a go-getting energy, a very action oriented energy. So people find you as a person who is very quick in action, but at the same time methodological when it is required. Because Knight of Pentacles, I'm getting this energy which is slow and steady progress. With Eight of Wands and King of Swords and King of Pentacles, it's like it's kind of swift energy. Okay, so King of Pentacles is kind of balanced. Okay, so it's like what from all these cards, what I'm getting is people generally view you as a person who do things when it is to be done swiftly, and who knows when to be slow and steady. Like they know that they think that they think that when you need to go things faster, move things faster, or they see that when you want to take time, you do that. You are not in a rush, but at the same time, you will be in rush when it is required. With the presence of Ten of Swords, I'm getting this message that you have recently entered something, ended some like you may have just quit a job or left a relationship, or some sort of ending have happened, and people generally see that you rise above it just like a phoenix in that of the picture. Like literally in this tarot card, you can see that a phoenix that is rising from this dead person, like a person who is pinned to the ground, and that person is not willing to be pinned to the ground, so that this person just kind of gives his all to that of the phoenix, so that in a different form it can rise. So that may have happened in your life, like recently an ending have happened, and you don't let that ending define you completely. You kind of rise above that particular situation. With the presence of King of Pentacles and King of Swords, I'm getting the strong message that you are seen as some sort of a leader, or a person who initiate things and see the things through. Like they are very matured energy. Okay, it's not like I will do it when I require to do it, and when I'll just sleep when I can sleep. It's more like a very practical, at the same time very matured. They are not coming from a, let's say, bubbly energy. They are not coming from go with the flow energy. It's more like constructive methodological steps. That is what I'm getting, and that is how people generally view you. Like you see that of an opportunity, you seize the opportunity, and you get the maximum out of it. That's a sort of vibe. Again, with the presence of Two of Swords, I'm getting this energy that you may be brutally honest. Like you say things as it is, and you don't butter it up a lot. Especially with the presence of King of Swords, I'm getting this message that you are seen as a very intelligent person, a person who is shrewd and cunning in business, and you do not say a lot of secrets. With the presence of Two of Swords, it's like you're like people view your career. Yes, people view your external environment, but not all the people have that of the access to your heart. Like not everyone have access to your heart. That is what I'm getting, and that is how generally people view you. And they some of them actually see you as a little bit cold, because it's like you're not there for emotional talks a lot. You don't speak about your emotions, you don't do this little talks, that is what I'm getting. You're kind of out to there of the business, you speak about the business, you do the business, uh, that's the energy. You're very career oriented to some extent. That is what I'm getting here. Again, with the presence of high priestess, it seems like your intuition is on that of the points. Like, people generally view that you are kind of working not only from your logic with the presence of king of swords, but also from your intuition. You just do that of the things, and suddenly everything flows into the place. That is the sort of vibe. Again, with the presence of eight of wands, people generally view you as a person who is quick to respond to their, like, you may not take a lot of time to respond back to messages, or you get back faster, okay, because you value your time as well as you value the time of the other people as well. It's like showing the respect. Yes, you are respectful. Yes, you value the other's time. So that is an element I am getting here with the presence of eight of wands. Like, you're quick to respond to people because you kind of value your own time and you value the others. Again, with the presence of ace of pentacles, I am getting this message that you are not you're not willing to keep the key of your inner garden to any random person. Like, you don't allow people to stand in that of the doorway that blocks great people to enter. Like, literally, you don't want a lot of people. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting. You just need the right ones, and that makes you kind of defensive with the presence of two of swords, and that is how people perceive you. Like, you're very slow to open up. Again, with the presence of knight of pentacles, like, you're very slow to open up your emotions, and you can just see that there is a lot of wand card, there is sword card, then there is this lot of masculine energy, but there is nothing related to cup card that shows about the emotion. So that is what people generally perceive about you. Like, you don't show a lot of emotions, or maybe to a great extent, I mean, they may say that you're kind of emotionless, but I don't believe in it, because I feel like with the presence of ace of pentacles, you are kind of reserved, and you don't want every random person to just enter your garden and pluck your flowers and all those things. So that is the, let's dive into the rest of cards to get further info on how do people view or see. So we have that of the chariot, the ten of swords, the hierophant, and the king of swords. So if you feel like, I am called to say out this message, if you feel like you are the only person who have recently gone through something very turbulent, just go and watch pile one. There was also this ten of swords or something related energy was there as well. I think it was three of swords. So you got ten of swords twice. So that kind of reinforces the message that I was getting earlier as well. So people generally view you as a person who have gone through something significant, a significant lows in your life, and that kind of makes you a little bit reserved. So with the presence of that of the chariot, it seems like you are moving swiftly through your pain rather than taking those emotional time out, there are people who acts differently when they are hurt. There are people who works a lot when they are hurt, and there are people who just withdraws and take rest and heal that all these things. I am not there to say which is right and which is wrong. I mean, some right may work for some people, some wrongs may work for the others. So there is basically no right and wrong when dealing with a particular situation. I feel like this strongly here that people wish that you take some time out, especially with this, because ten of swords coming twice. So I just want to say, but I don't want you to follow blindly some people's desires and all at the same time, because I want you to just know about that perspective, but I don't want you to just blindly act upon that perspective. Think for yourself and then act out, because I feel like you are a very intelligent person with the presence of king of swords that we got earlier. So that is there. Again, with the presence of the hierophant, I'm getting this strong message that people generally view you as a person who knows a lot about, and a person whom they can ask advice to. And yes, you may not be emotionally available to every person, but at the same time, you don't manipulate the others with the intelligence, okay? So personally, I know people who are intelligent and who have this ability to manipulate the others, and who manipulate the others, and I don't know what is the the karma that they are going to face in their life, but I hope that it really hit their face when this karma comes back, right? So with the presence of the hierophant, people generally view you as a person who is very much karmically aligned, and a person who never uses their intelligence to manipulate or destroy others. With the presence of the king of wands, I'm getting this message that yes, you may not show your passion, emotion to that of all the others, but when you show, it is in the purest form. Because in this depiction, you can see that in the king of wands, two counterparts are standing, right? A male and the female figure, and they two are on the top of a mountain looking to that of the next. So what I'm getting is, when you do the relationship, when you fully open to that of the other, it is of that of the purest intention. It is not to play games, it is not to just, be in that of the flow, let's see where it takes and all those jazz. You are really a good person. That is what people generally view you, because they find that yes, you may not be very emotional, but you don't advise people just so that you can enjoy their failure. Like, so that makes you a true leader, right? So that is it. Again, with the presence of the carrier, I'm getting the strong message that you have a strong counterpart, or they feel like you have a great significant other coming. So something like that, like energy of counterpart, you can see in the King of Wands and the Chariot. And believe me, in this deck there are no much counterpart energies present. So it is there in the Chariot, and then so in the King of Wands, I'm getting this message that people generally view that you have a strong significant other, a person who can protect you and is caring about you a lot. Like, they are they are your live or die situation. So that is present. Let's dive into the rest of cards now. So, with the presence of the chopwood, the imagine, then the hummingbird miracles, and hawk messenger, dragon, that is the supernatural, and go the distance. I'm getting the strong message that, especially those people with the presence of this chopwood, I'm getting this message that people generally view that since you have let go of certain things that doesn't work in your favor, your life is upgrading faster. Like, you are going to that of distance with the presence of go the distance and all. You got a lot of amazing things in that of the life, basically because you have let go of things that no longer works you. So with the presence of the chopwood, it can be the relationships, it can be karmically tied friendships, or it can be anything and everything that is not good for your highest soul level. And since you kind of like alienate yourself from these situations that have been tied up, like it's kind of like suffocating. And once you let go of those things, that enables you to race towards the finish line. With the presence of supernatural, people generally view that you have this ability to communicate with that of the spirits, or you are kind of, you have this divine blessings or divine guidance, or the things that happen to you is kind of divine in nature. And they see that maybe you yourself do not have a lot of say in the things that is happening to you, but ultimately it is leading to that of the best possible outcome. With the presence of the go the distance, chop wood, and imagine, I'm getting this energy that like best possible outcome have happened because it's divinely aligned for you. So yes, it was painful when you was like you kind of retreat yourself from that of the pain, retreat yourself from emotionally abusive person, or retreat yourself from situationships, or like karmically aligned career. Yes, it was painful, but it was divinely placed so that you can reach your highest potential. All those junkies, if it was tied to your waist, like how will you come out of the water, right? So since the divine itself have taken care of the powers in, like, taken everything in their hand, it kind of freed you swiftly. Otherwise you may have invested years and years onto it. I don't know whether you are getting the message, but that is what I'm getting through here. Again, with the presence of hummingbird and miracles, I'm getting the strong message that people generally view that you have a lot of things to be happy, and a lot of miraculous things are happening in your life. Like, I'm getting the strong message that a strong counterpart has just entered in your life, or is in that of the way of entering. Or if you already have a strong significant other, their their part in your life is heightened now. And that is how people generally view you, like you are getting something because of these person. Like, maybe because your counterpart is very strong and they have a lot of connections, this person is well known. Despite their young age, they are well known, and all those just happening. So it's like hummingbird, which is a young energy. So that is why I said, so despite their young age, they are already in the top of the career. So it seems like because of their influence in your life, something miraculous is happening. Like, some sort of new connections are coming with the presence of the messenger, networks are forming. So something like that, like your life is miraculously changing to that of the changing to that of this high level. And it may not have happened if you're connected to these junkies, maybe emotionally manipulative and I just feel like saying like that. Yeah, it may be rude to those emotionally manipulative people, right? But still, they are. So that is the message that I'm getting, and I hope that this message truly resonates with you. If it does, consider subscribing to my channel. Hopefully I will catch you in my next reading. Till then, take care. Bye. Hey there, my dear pile tree. So, if you're drawn to this particular pile, this right place for you to receive the message on how do people generally view or see you at this point of time. Yes, we can dive deep into the reading. So, you literally got some beautiful cards. So you have that of the Temperance, the Two of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So, love is in the air. It seems like that. So, people generally view that you are a person who have a lot of secret admirers, or people generally view that you have a strong counterpart. So that is the other than that, I was getting this energy while I was laying down the cards that all those works have led you to this particular place. Like with the presence of that of the Eight of Pentacles, you were doing some sort of work, like you were very slow, consistent, methodological, you were taking a lot of time, and you were kind of like you are into the details, you are working on that of the details. With the presence of the Temperance, it was kind of long journey. It was not like, yeah, today I will just put that of the seed, the next day I got the fruits. It's not like that energy. It's like you are taking your sweet time on something, okay? And suddenly with the presence of the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, people see that all that of the intense efforts that you were putting in is kind of getting the rewards. Like every work that you put in is now rewarding you tenfolds, actually more than what you intend to be. With the presence of the Wheel of Fortune, it's like the wheels are turned in your favor. Like there are times when people say that if you put that of the work, you get that of the reward. I mean, basically it works that way. But there are some times in our life, if we put a little amount of work and you got a lot of rewards, and there are times you put a lot of effort and still you may not get as much as reward you want to get, or at least you will get based on that of the work that you put in. So what I'm getting here is this message that this is a time for you to shine, okay? So that is how generally people view that all that of the efforts that you put in is finally reaping the rewards, and it is multiplying. It's not like, okay, I put one and you get one back. No, it's like you put one, you get 100. So that's the energy I'm getting. Like everything that you put in is kind of multiplying. And with the presence of Ten of Pentacles, sorry, the Two of Pentacles, I'm getting this message that it's like you're juggling a lot, and that is how people generally view. Because of all these opportunities, options, you don't know what to choose and when to choose, how to choose, because the Two of Cups is ultimately a choice, the Lovers is ultimately a choice. So I'm getting this message that you have a lot of choice, and that is how people generally view you, and you have this choice because basically you put in the work, okay? And that work may be from years back. Like you may have done the work in 2020 and now you got the result. Bang, come, take this. So that's why, again, with the presence of Queen of Wands, I'm getting this message that maybe your way of presenting yourself is kind of different. Like the way you dress may be different. Like you have a artistic inclination to that of the dressing. Maybe you wear cool color dressed, like something different, okay? So I would explain this energy as if you work in a corporate, everyone wears very traditional dress. Let's put it that way, okay? Everyone wears traditional dress. So you are the only person who wears suit and coat, or you are the only person who wears very like very professional dress, okay? So that's a vibe. Like you stand out from that of the crowd, or the vice versa also. Like if you work in that of, if you go to that of a place and everyone is tiptoe and all those like very professional and all, you may be the person who wears something flashy, something color with a lot of feathers maybe, so something like that, like flowy prints and all. So but it works good on you, but it may not work good on the other people. Like if maybe if I wore it, I may look like a duck. Like, I mean, come on. So so that is the energy I'm getting. Like people generally view that you have this way of making things work, especially dress. Like if you take a dress, you have this way. Maybe you work in fashion designing or something like that, or you have this fashion designing tendency. Come on, the people in my life comments upon my designs and my choice of dress all the time, and I just love the way I dress. I mean, come on. So it's like, and they also say that like if they wear my dress, that may not suit them. Like that may be working for you as well. Like if people wore your dress, they may not look as good as you. So it's like it's tailor made for you. That's the energy I'm getting. Coming back to the more wonderful elements of this reading, with the presence of the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, I'm getting this message that people generally view that something that you have been deeply desiring is coming into the fruition. So it can be anything and everything. It can be a career success, education success, or something that you were deeply rooting for, because you feel like you have done everything in your power, and it's like you were kind of waiting, and you were kind of waiting for the divine time to align, and finally this divine time is aligning. So that is the, again, with the presence of the Lovers and the Two of Cups, there is an element of a union happening. So people generally view that you are going to get married or something, or making a relationship official, so something like that. With the presence of the Lovers, I'm getting this message that you are kind of solidifying some sort of partnership, like you're choosing a person as your the other half. Okay, that's a vibe, like you're finally making a choice. That's the thing I'm getting here strongly. Okay, it can be romantic because there is a lot of emphasis on romance here. So it can be romantic, or it can be a career, because you're kind of making a choice, because the call is on your, it's like you are making the call, the ball is on your court and you are making the call. And it can be a career, it can be studies, like you're finally saying that this is what I want, and you can make that because you had done the work. Okay, it's not like you're born with a golden spoon. It seems like you are putting the effort, and now you can make the shots, like, okay, I want to work in the company A rather than company B. I want this friend rather than that friend. So it's like you are making the call, and that is what people generally view you. Yes, we can dive into the rest of cards now. So we got that of the Six of Pentacles, the Devil, the Four of Wands, and that of the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, there are no coincidences. There are only happy accidents. You got the Wheel of Fortune twice. So the strong message that I'm getting here strongly is people generally view you as a person who is into that of the up life, like you are going into heights. Okay, so that is what I'm getting. And with the presence of the Devil, it seems like you have cut yourself out of a toxic situation, or a toxic things, or something like a toxic pattern, and you have freed yourself. That is how people generally view you. And with the presence of Six of Pentacles, it seems like your life, you're going to get some surprises, like you're going to get some surprise visits, surprise gifts, like literally define the surprise for you. Okay, it can be a surprise job offer, it can be a surprise romantic relationship, it can be literally a surprising thing that is coming to your life, and it's being offered to you, and it's kind of it kind of enabling you to come out of a toxic, or a situation that kind of binds you. Okay, literally. So it kind of enables you to put your inner demon in a cell. Okay, so this inner demon can be lack of self-confidence, lack of self-worth, lack of self-respect. So it can be anything and everything. But despite the fact, people generally view that you kind of lock this inner demon, because you have this tangible outcomes in your external world to confirm that you are above all those things, like you are above all those self-limiting shackles that you believed in. And this external confirmation is, maybe this external confirmation will make you to go into your knees and pray to the universe that, okay, sorry if I had doubted you for once, I am thankful that everything is working out in my favor. So that is a side message that I got. With the presence of Four of Wands, I'm getting this message that you are making solid commitments, partnerships, unions, and is going to celebrate that. So that is it. Let's dive into the rest of cards now. Wonderful. So we have that of the Dear Love. Then you got that of the Orca Whale, that is adventure. Round and round and clean it up. I mean, come on. If you have a romantic partner or something like that, you're going to solidify it, or you're going to get married, you're going to get into the next level of relationship. So that is how people generally view you. Like there is a strong element of counter like partnership here. Again, with the presence of adventure, I feel like your life is going to be kind of very adventurous. Like that is how people generally view. I'm getting a kind of a future energy, because you kind of cleaned up a lot of mess, literally, with the presence of round and round. And it seems like you are locking up some self-limiting beliefs onto that of a cellar, and you're kind of cleaning it up, so that you can bring space to that of a much beautiful and wonderful things in that of the life. So that is how generally people view you. So you may be still in the process of cleaning it up, or you have already completed cleaning it up in the recurring patterns, like cleaning the recurring patterns that is happening in your life, so that you can just move into that of the next part of your life. That is what I'm getting with the presence of adventure, dear, love, and all those does. So this is a wonderful reading I got for you, and I hope that this reading truly resonate with you. If it does, consider subscribing to my channel. Hopefully, I will catch you in my next reading. Till then, take care. Bye.